Saturday Social, brought to you by EA Sports FC with PlayStation 5.
It is time for our traditional Saturday Social end-of-season awards.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 7 categories in front of the guys on the whiteboard. Player of the season, goalkeeper season, manager, rookie, signing, overachiever and underachiever. You guys each come up with an answer per category.
Yep.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start with Premier League player of the season. So let's have a look at who you've all selected.
Now, we did have a bit of a discussion about this, didn't we?
A bit of a discussion on this, so we'll...
Robbie, you're sticking by Saliba as being the Premier League player of the season.
Yep. Stick him up on your one.
Stick him up.
You're both going with Foden.
Let's just double down a little bit on why you picked Saliba, because we did discuss him briefly, but...
Just because, as I said, I think he's been consistently brilliant. He's played every game for Arsenal. He's been brilliant. We've had the best defence in the league, and it's not just always about attacks. I mean, you can have, a great attack, but if you can't defend, a bit like Tottenham, I mean, where the defence ain't been great. Right?
The same thing. He didn't even speak.
No, but you understand what I'm saying? If you haven't got a good defence, you're not going to win the league, or you're not even going to challenge for the league. So I just feel that as good as Foden's been, as good as some of the other attacking players are, I think Cole Palmer's a shout for it as well. Yeah. But I just feel that, let's recognise defenders sometimes, and Saliba, as a young player as well, remember how young he is as well, has been absolutely exceptional. Flawless in most games.
Both going with Phil Foden.
I think ultimately the season hasn't ended, right? And if something crazy happens tomorrow and Arsenal end up winning the league, then people's answer to this will probably change. And I think Saliba is the obvious shout, potentially, as an Arsenal, if they win the league. But the chances are they probably won't. So I'm looking at a City player. And I think this man, he stepped up a level this year. We always knew what he could do, but he's become a talisman in many ways for Man City. Now, you can rely on him to score goals in big games. The quality is clear to see. And when Haaland and people are out of the team, this guy is stepping up.
It's crazy, yeah.
Stick him up.
Get him up. Yeah, Robbie, you might have to help stick movies up. Next up, we've got goalkeeper of the season.
Oh, sorry.
Let's have a look at your goalkeepers of the season, then.
Everyone's gone with here.
Is this just all because he's got the golden glove?
Gone with Raya. I thought this would be there's quite a few names in the mix here.
Yeah.
For me, it's a lot of what Robbie said about the defence and recognising that. He's obviously part of it. And I also think, he came to the club under a bit of a cloud with the Ramsdale situation. It was a little bit like, did he need to come? They've clearly improved in that area. No disrespect to Ramsdale, but him as an individual has a really good season. And, yeah, best defence, goalkeeper.
He missed games against Brentford as well, so he's getting these Golden Glove awards, and he can't play against Brentford because he's on loan. So but that's an achievement, isn't it? He's playing left games than other keepers in the league.
I don't trust nothing you say. You've got a motive behind it somehow. Something's gonna.
Interesting, Robbie. Though you last time you were on the show, we did a Command 11. You had Ramsdale as your keeper over Raya.
Yeah, because it's exactly as Spencer said. When he first came in, I think literally every Arsenal fan was like, why? Ramsdale had a great season last year, and we love the guy. We love Ramsdale. Yeah. But he's come in, he's been brilliant. We've had the best defence. He's won the Golden Glove, and he's just been a real calming influence at the back. And I think it's just, when you remember the fact he has sort of come in under that cloud where fans are like, well, he's under a lot of pressure. So I think he's done really, really well.
Any other shouts? The likes of Emi Martinez, Alisson, Vicario. I thought this would be quite a
Vicario, great goalkeeper, really impressive shot stopper, but you can't get away from the amount of goals they've let up.
Jordan Pickford has to be in there as well. Yeah. And everyone talks about Jordan Pickford as if he makes all these mistakes. I think he's been solid for many years. Keeps Everton in the league every single season. He's England's #1.
Yeah, I agree. They've got the fourth best defensive record in the league, Everton.
Pickford's a shout.
Let's get Raya up, and then we'll go on to.
We'll move on to the next category, manager of the season. Now, I believe you've all gone with someone different here.
Oh, OK.
Unai Emery Spence. Have you gone with Arteta?
Yeah. He's second in the league.
And you've gone for
Rob Edwards.
We have to represent how well Luton have done.
Relegated.
They're not relegated yet, are they? Technically, they're not.
They're not mathematically relegated.
With the budget they've got,
it's very difficult for them to stay up.
Yeah, they're one of the smallest clubs, with all due respect to them. An old club, but a very small club to be in the league, financially speaking, to get them competing, to get them in the league in the first place. We have to talk about Luton somewhere at the end of season awards, because they were punching miles above their weight. Their performances, sometimes the results weren't great because the quality in that side isn't the best, but the way they competed was fantastic.
I think Spence, great shout. I'd agree with you with Unai Emery.
Yeah.
What season?
I think if, like Robbie said, if Luton stayed up, you have to acknowledge it. Ultimately, they are probably not going to, and I think that takes the shine off a little bit. And Emery, again, not just what he's done with Villa, I think you've got to look at the full context of it. He hasn't actually signed many players. He's come in and actually coached the team and made them a lot better. He's also come in with, as a, having a difficult time at Arsenal previously and completely proven the level of manager he is. Champions League for Aston Villa is legit. Like, that's proper.
He took him over when they're 14th, 3 points above the relegation zone.
He's also got the best win ratio in all competitions of any manager in Aston Villa's history.
There you go.
Yeah, remarkable.
When you think of the fact that they've won massive trophies in the past, that is incredible.
You've gone for another Arsenal.
I was actually going to go for Unai Emery as well, but then...
You remember you couldn't because you're an Arsenal fan.
You know what I mean?
Could you not do Emery because obviously Emery used to be manager of your club? And
no, it's nothing to do with that. I think Emery has. I think all the things that Spencer says is true. Emery's been absolutely exceptional, but I think Arteta's been exceptional as well. The way he's transformed the team, the signings he made when he brought in Havertz. There was again a lot of us saying, "Boy, Havertz." Same with Raya. He's made all the players better. We've had the best defence in the league, the best attack in the league. All right, we might come up short. I know what Buvey's going to say. We may come up short, but I think he's been brilliant. Last season, everybody was saying, oh, if you don't win the league this year, you've got no chance next year. Well, we're the team that's challenging now Man City for that league every season.
Buvey's laughing, by the way. Why are you laughing?
Because Arsenal aren't a joke club. They're a massive institution. We are rewarding mediocrity at the moment. It's another trophyless season, and there are Arsenal fans out there
trophyless
that
yet.
are a bit more vocal than Robbie about.
It's not trophyless yet.
I couldn't care less. I'm a City fan. But there are Arsenal fans out there that talk about this institution of Arsenal Football Club, and they've come second again when they had a winning opportunity to beat Fulham, to beat West Ham, and they couldn't beat City at the Etihad. I'm just saying there's an opportunity to
we beat you at the Emirates. You haven't beaten us this season.
We're above
you. Played you 3 times.
What's more important? Wins, goals, and
we'll know after tomorrow, innit? Save it till the next show.
At the moment,
right? But at the moment, you're above us. But what I'm saying is, right, last season, including you were saying if you don't win it this year, you've got no chance. We're going to be the team that's challenging you year in, year out from now on.
What, coming second every season? I'll take that.
No, I don't think we'll be coming. You're worried about us. You was worried the last time you come on the last show. Remember how worried he was? And you were proven right because we beat you, right? And you're worried a lot about us now because you know that Mikel Arteta has turned... it's all right saying you're an institution, but when the team... We'd fallen off. And that's the truth of it. And this guy has brought us back.
Let's get him up then.
I think it's true, but I also think that if you're going to talk about Arteta, you've got to talk about Pep.
Great shout for Emery.
Outperformed him.
Agreed. And I also think Iraola deserves a shout there. Who's just been remarkable at Bournemouth. Rookie of the season then.
Some of the placements, by the way, here.
I'd say this guy counts as a rookie. Yeah,
absolutely.
Made a little bit.
And this is the first non-Arsenal player you've got in your list, Robbie.
Listen, he's been absolutely brilliant. I mean, he's carried Chelsea. Chelsea, the mess they've been in. He's absolutely carried them. The amount of goals he's scored.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd lose it if he's not in the England squad. He's such a good player.
Talking of England squads, this young man potentially in the conversation now. At least fans are asking for Adam Wharton to be called up, aren't they?
He needs to be recognised. I think it might be a little bit too early. I think Kobbie Mainoo's had a bit more of a head start in terms of getting into that position for England. I think Palmer, for me, he's played more minutes for Man City. He's helped us win the Super Cup. He's scored in big games for City already. This is a real rookie. Came from the Championship a few months ago. Completely underrated in terms of, he arrived in the January transfer window. He's been unbelievable. And what Glasner's done at Palace is outrageous how good this kid's been.
He's a really tidy player, actually.
Let's get him up then.
Good shouts there from all of you, I think. I want to chuck another name in there. Jared Branthwaite, I think, has been brilliant this season in terms of rookie and breakthrough season. Obviously seen him.
And Kobbie.
English squad. Yeah, Kobbie Mainoo as well. Good shout. Signing of the season. So... some similar names coming.
This is where Robbie needs to realise I'm not a Rice hater. I'm a Rice lover. And he's been an amazing signing. He wasn't cheap, but you look at other players that have gone for a similar price.
Definitely.
The impact he's had is way higher. What he's done to Arsenal and how he's taken them on. I actually think pound for pound, and my original answer was Cole Palmer, but the reason I changed it is basically... I don't think you can reward a transfer policy like Chelsea's. If you sign 68 players, one of them's going to be good. You can't reward that. Whereas Declan Rice... and Arsenal spent a lot of money, not just Rice, obviously Havertz, other players as well.
Yeah.
But he's probably one of the few players that you can spend 100 million on and it not be a bad buy. So
Half price.
Buy. Yeah, maybe.
Which is rare.
That's how some goes. We got him half price.
All right, let's get them up then.
Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer again. Don't need to discuss him too much more.
Yeah, so a couple of those. McAllister, you're chucking there. Van der Ven, Pau
I think
Torres.
Vicario value for money wise.
Vicario as
Honestly,
well,
Vicario
17 mil.
value for money, £17 million for a goalkeeper of his
Can't
quality.
defend a set piece though, can he?
You've got to pay extra for that.
Look at Robbie, he loves it. Right, Robbie, overachievers, who have you gone with? You can't put Arsenal for this one, can you?
Overachiever. No. City. Overachiever. Bournemouth.
Okay.
Bournemouth. At the start of the season. Remember, after a few games, everyone was saying they're definitely going down.
Yeah.
And last season.
And not only have they stayed in the league, they've been really, really good. And I just think, again, I'm going by context. I know these guys have gone Villa, and I get that, but I just think that everyone, you know, not even just at the start of it, after a few games.
It was after 9 games. They were in really bad. Since that 9-game run in the opening few weeks of the season, they have taken the 5th most points of any team in the league.
They've got the highest ever points tally of a Premier League season this season.
Yeah, I mean, they've had good seasons before as well under Eddie Howe and stuff. I think it was between Bournemouth and Villa for me. I think that far be it for me to reward clubs for getting rid of managers who look like ostensibly they're doing quite well, which is what O'Neill did, and I think we all felt a bit aggrieved with him when he left. But ultimately, they've made a controversial decision. They brought a manager in. That manager has started the season quite poorly and has stuck with him, and they clearly had a strategy. So you do have to kind of acknowledge the strategy there than the Bournemouth owners. Yeah. That being said, what Villa have done with regards to where they're finished and the teams they're competing with, the teams underneath them, the money and spending power they have, it's so hard to do.
Chelsea's, Man United's, Newcastle's, Tottenham's.
Exactly, these big clubs. And like I said, Emery hasn't even bought that many players. Like, it's such a good coaching job. And overachiever as a word is probably a bit harsh because they deserve to be where they are, but just no one saw it coming, I don't think, to that degree.
Beat City.
Happy with that, Booze? You gone Villa as well?
Yeah, I think we've seen in the past Bournemouth have runs. We've seen Wigan get promoted, Stoke City get promoted and have runs, West Brom as well. It's amazing, but Aston Villa outcompeting Man United, who have spent billions. Chelsea, who have spent billions. Newcastle United were in the Champions League last season. It's outrageous.
And they were playing Thursday nights, let's not forget.
Yeah, true. Let's get that.
Very good point.
Imagine if they'd have just got over the line against Olympiacos, man. It would have been different. Final one, underachievers. Is this just a tap-in? Don't hold it above your head.
Lifting it above your head like a trophy. What was that?
Well, this is the most embarrassing football club in the country. They are meant to be the biggest club in the world. They do not represent themselves in Europe with any glory. They don't represent their stadiums falling apart. It's an absolute embarrassment. And Man United are an institution. I respect football. I respect their history. It's an absolute sham how the club's been run this season. And if you think Ten Hag's good enough to manage Man United, you have to have a day off from football.
But let's give it a bit of context. With the injury problems that they've had this season, like 60-odd injuries, 28 different combinations of back four, 14 different centre-back partnerships.
So Man United got smashed against Crystal Palace, and they had a back four that cost over 150 million.
Yeah, but the back four was didn't even have centre-backs in it.
Below, you got Wan-Bissaka for 50 million pounds.
Casemiro was in there, wasn't it?
Well, I think
I'm just defending United a little bit.
I get that, but I think you can also challenge it and look at their transfer policy in general.
There's no doubt the transfer policy.
Johnny Evans, great servant and great deal financially, but he's had to play a lot, and he's not to that level anymore. Casemiro even and Varane, like, was that the right strategy looking back, getting those players who've
probably not
at Real Madrid?
I agree, and I think underachiever is a fair title, but
because I've gone for it as well.
Yeah.
Even some of the good players, like Rashford, what's happened to him this year? Like everyone's got worse. So I think, you know, I was at Old Trafford last week and I couldn't help just looking around and thinking, this is a massive... They shouldn't be in this...
a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, there's a lot of work, especially on the stadium. And then I got wet.
But you haven't gone United.
I haven't, actually. I went with Chelsea. Now, to add some context to this, it's like, has Poch done a good job with a completely new squad, and is he picking up, and are they trending in a good direction? Yes, I think those things are all true. Like, it's a challenging job he's had, to be honest, which sounds weird when you've had that much money spent.
Yeah.
I don't think he picked all the players, you know, all those sorts of things. But equally, once again, I think, I don't care how you look at it. If you spend £500 million and you don't get exponentially better and you're not challenging for any competition in the world, something's not right. Every team, so many examples of teams that have proved, like a Villa, for example, we just talked about them. You don't have to spend to improve necessarily. If you spend that much, you have to improve. Now, could they improve over a period of years with the young players they've got? Potentially. But they've got so many on long contracts. I do think there's a few that are going to backfire long term, and they're going to be left with some players they can't get rid of. And I just don't I just don't like that policy of just sign, and this long year trying to beat, you know, player amortisation rules and all this sort of thing. I'm not for it personally. I think what you spend that, you've got to be top 4.
OK, stick them up, lads. Spencer's gone with Chelsea, Robbie's gone Man United. Buvey, very strong in his words of Man United. Those are the thoughts of Buvey there, and I think it's good to get a bit of context because those are his thoughts.
I think interestingly as well, I think Phil Foden's just been named Premier League Player of the Year.
Yeah, just been named.
So good timing on that, unlucky Rob.
They were watching, both of you. There is confirmation. Let us know what you think of the Saturday Social end-of-season awards.
By the way, I'm not saying that totally disagreeing. I'm giving my opinion, right? Because defenders are never recognised. He has been exceptional. You know what I mean? He stepped up, like Buvey said, especially at the start of the season.
He's done amazing. He's taken Arsenal to second.
Right? Okay. Well, not yet. Listen, I love it.